Y'all, all my melanated people, let's do one thing for each other, bro. Stop engaging in that ice because that stuff ain't got nothing to do with us. That is not our fight. Because I'm hearing a lot of people talking about, so, well, if ICE come to my house, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that. If they come to my school building and try to touch the kids, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that. Shut up. Just shut up. That is not our fight, y'all. Because the same people that we call ourselves fighting for as a collective, them folks ain't never did a darn thing for us. They ain't never fought for us, never will fight for us. So let these people do their job, bro. Let's stay the fuck out the way. That's what's wrong with us as a collective, y'all. We stick our nose in the wrong business. But when somebody actually come harm us as a community, everybody want to be silent and don't want to do nothing about it. Keep that same energy when it's at your doorstep. Listen, y'all, all my melanated people, let's do one thing for each other.
We are in a time right now where a lot of people want to take advantage of our emotional and resilience capital that has been built up on the backs of us over the hundreds of years that we have been in this country, because they are in a position where they are finding out that the choices that they made, while informed, were poor choices. And I want to stress with us how important it is for us to practice self-care. And one of the tenets with self-care is prioritizing yourself. We are compassionate as a people by nature. We want everyone to be okay by nature. But unfortunately, we're in a season where we don't have the luxury of worrying about others because of what is on ground for us. And so I would encourage us to be really careful of falling into the trap that is happening right now, where we're being gaslit to believe that we have not supported other communities and we have not been there for other communities, and they have been there for us. And I don't want to go down the laundry list of opportunities that they could have been there to stand with us and to fight with us when it was our community that was under attack, which is consistently the theme in this country. But what they're not going to do now is come in because they are suffering and don't know how to handle this the way we do. Because again, we've been here before. We know how this is. This isn't new to us. We just continue to grow and to thrive in spite of what they throw our way. We're not responsible. And so this is the time for us to have self-reflection. This is a time for us to band together to build something infrastructurally that will last beyond this point, so that we no longer have to be dependent on others for our communal well-being. So I just want to stress that to you all. It's going to probably get worse before it gets better. But for us to survive this next 4 years, and I roll my eyes at that because it's just hard to believe that it hasn't even been 2 months yet. But to survive this next 4 years, we are going to have to prioritize ourselves as a community and make sure that we take care of ourselves. That's all I got.
Hi, my name is Leandro. You guys might know me by this video. And I just want to say something to the Latino population who keeps coming to TikTok and saying, no, calling out Americans, and specifically Black Americans, and being like, why aren't you guys standing up for us? We did it in Black Lives Movement. As an Afro-Latino, myself, we have to hold accountability for our actions. 60% of our people voted for that guy, voted for these deportations. Many of your family members voted for this guy, even though they knew you were maybe LGBTQ, maybe you were trans, maybe you had HIV, maybe you depended on scholarships because now you want to get rid of the border education, went to public school, right, were undocumented, right? All of these reasons, knowing this guy is literally the representation of white supremacy. The KKK supported this guy. He released the Project 2025 a whole year before the election. And we sat down, we told you what was gonna happen, and you still chose this guy. Okay? Just because he has conservative beliefs, the ones that your grandma and your parents were taught in Latin America, how did that work out for us? How much family trauma do we have for these conservative beliefs in South America and Latin America? A lot, right? A lot. So anytime we speak about liberalism, you know, everybody should have access to healthcare. Everybody, should not be able to be discriminated against based on the color of his skin or his race, even if they have the same qualifications as their white counterpart. Like, is that so wrong? Is that so wrong? I don't think so. But going back to the main topic of Latinos asking Black Americans to stand up for them and help them, and Black Americans are like, you chose that, that is your battle. I approve that message. I approve it. I know I might get flagged for saying this, but it's true. As Latinos, we need to take accountability for our actions. And yes, not all of us voted for that guy, but we need to address the ones that did, call them out, and correct and revalue ourselves. Because just because you do not agree with, I don't know, reproductive rights or the LGBTQ community, which Kamala Harris did, right? Maybe because you don't agree with that, doesn't mean that this other guy does. Right? Doesn't mean that he's a better option for you, because remember, you're still a person of color. And I know a lot of you light-skinned Latinos or white Latinos who, honestly, you're not white American passing. And even if you are and you have an accent like mine, as soon as you open that mouth, you're done. You're done. So I just want to let you guys know that we need to do something. And there's no one else to blame than us.
You're not moving. You're not going nowhere. This is not our fight. Let 1 million of their people go out there and let's see how law enforcement handles them, okay? You all sit your Black asses down. This is not our fight. They had the chance to align themselves with us back in November. They made their choice. They voted for how they wanted to vote for. So let them go and march. Let them go and protest. Let them go and rally. Let them go shed their blood, sweat, and tears. You stay your Black asses inside, okay?
So in different parts of the country, one question keeps coming up. Why are some Black Americans choosing not to participate in immigration protests? On social media, podcasts, and even community discussions, many people have been explaining their reasons. Some agree with those views, while others strongly disagree. In today's video, we are looking at some of the arguments being shared and why this conversation has become controversial. Let's get into it.
Hey, look, this goes for all the other races that's upset and pissed off because Black people are not getting involved with what's going on. A white guy made a post saying that when they done with the brown people, there won't be nobody else to stand up for us. So why are we not helping? Because we should be helping the brown people and whoever else the government coming after. Man, newsflash, the government been coming after us, bruh. Been coming after us. They make our lives harder as much as they can. That's why we got to train ourselves to think a certain way. That way we don't become a victim to the bullshit that they do to us. And now you want to tell us to care about somebody else? Whenever it's countless other races that sit there and laugh at us, call us niggas, call us monkeys. And when it go down and they putting them restraints on us, nobody say nothing. But now all of a sudden you want us to care about what's going on with the brown people. I ain't got nothing against the brown people. But I will tell you this though, I don't care. Cause when it's us, ain't nobody care. So for the people that's getting up here trying to get mad at Black people because we sitting back watching what's going on, you gonna have to stay mad. Cause ain't nobody jumping in nothing that ain't got nothing to do with us. When it's us, y'all laughing and y'all pointing. And y'all calling us niggas and monkeys. So on the real, stand up for yours. We always do.
Black people, I can't get through my For You page 3 scrolls without seeing a video about the people over in LA protesting. And if it's not a video about them protesting, it's all these different schools of thought on the protests. Or videos about the relationship that's kind of, I don't want to say fractured, but a little strained between black people and I'll say brown people. And I wasn't going to say nothing because that's like a political conversation, political adjacent conversation, socio-political thing. But I'll tell you this, bro. I'll be 32 this year. I've been living in Florida off and on since 2008, and I've lived in Texas. I've lived around every kind of Hispanic you could think of. Black people, we need to get out of the habit of trying to tell other groups of people who come to this country and want to align themselves with whiteness or be in proximity to whiteness what's going to happen to them. Because the enemy is white supremacy. It does harm to everybody, white people included. But the problem is that people come here and they want to perpetuate it thinking that they can trade and buy into it, not realizing that white supremacy is exclusive. It's not inclusive. You will never be them. Doesn't matter what kind of minority you are. Doesn't matter how you try to breed your way into it. It don't matter how much money you make. You will never be them. Because to them, especially the ones who make the laws and make the money, that's all that matters. And that's not to say you got to turn around and be aligned with us. But you got to align yourself against them on every level. Not just the optics, but the ideas too. And expecting other people to come to bat for you when it's time for you to fight is crazy, especially when we see you and we see how you are. We see what you do. We see what you say. Because black folk, really, we very empathetic and sympathetic towards everybody because we don't want to see nobody go through the same shit that we done been through, bro. But everybody at every turn, every time are apathetic towards us. And we tired. So I'm saying, black people, don't tell nobody shit. Let them figure it out. Let them fight. And pray they win. Because ultimately, a win against white supremacy is still a win, no matter who won.
Black people, I need y'all to stop being political tools for everybody when nobody comes to help us. It costs $11,000, between $2,000 and $11,000 to migrate to this country legally. There are more than 11 million undocumented immigrants in the United States right now. These people, mind you, the governor of California was giving $58,000 to illegal immigrants to help them find a house. When did Gavin Newsom offer black people, white Americans that's struggling, hell, Asian Americans that's struggling, people that's born in this nation that's struggling? When did the governor of California offer them thousands upon thousands of dollars to help them buy a house, help them pay their rent, help them with their grocery bill? Like, it kills me how we operate and how we move when you have other administrations by presidents that sat up there and told you, if you don't vote for me, you ain't black. Or said, if I had a son, it would look like Trayvon. When did they ever just say, you know what, let's do something specifically for American citizens? Black, white, Hispanic, Asian, American citizens. Oh, we don't get that. You know why we don't get that? Because the government loves to pander to certain people that they can pay for cheap labor. There was a woman on CNN that said, I want to see these Americans when they don't have these, I want to see these American women when they don't have blueberries for their coffee. Y'all, it is so funny to me how folks they got a little bit, they got just as much melanin as I do or a little bit more. It's so funny how we want to jump in front of trains and take bullets for every other race but ours. We want to put everybody other cars in front of us, but these people wouldn't do the same. I'm asking y'all to wake up and smell the coffee. Get off that Democratic plantation. It's going to be the death of you. You did.
So one of the most mentioned reasons is simple. Many Black Americans say they believe every community has the right to advocate for its own concerns, but they also believe they have their own long-standing issues that deserves attention. Some point out in topics like economic opportunities, we have education, public safety, housing, wealth inequality, and their view is that these challenges should remain their primary focus. People expressing this opinion often say they are not against anyone else, they are simply prioritizing issues they feel affect their own communities more directly. So that perspective has generated support and criticism, both support and criticism online. Another reason is often involves past experiences. Some commentators say they feel support between different communities has not always been mutual. Whether discussing politics, activism, or local issues, some believe that cooperation hasn't always gone both ways. Because of those experiences, they say they are more cautious about joining movements that they don't see as directly connected to their own priorities. Of course, others disagree and argue that stronger cooperations benefit everyone, and that is why this conversation continues to generate debate across social media platforms. Another point raised repeatedly is personal choice. Many people emphasize that participating in protest is voluntary, and some choose to attend demonstrations, others prefer volunteering locally, and others decide not to participate at all. Many commentators argue that declining to join a protest doesn't automatically mean someone opposes the issue. It may simply reflect different priorities or different ways of engaging in civic life. So that distinction is often overlooked in heated online discussions. So at the end of the day, Americans hold a wide range of opinions about immigration protests and civic engagement. Some Black Americans choose to participate, others choose not to, and many fall somewhere in between. So understanding why people make these choices doesn't require everyone to agree. It starts with listening to different perspectives respectfully. Now, I would like to hear from you. What do you think explains these different viewpoints? Share your thoughts in the comment section below, and kindly remember to keep it respectful. If you enjoyed this breakdown, kindly hit the subscribe button and join our family. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you in the next one. Bye for now.